Abdulaziz ibn Saud was able to succeed because of the Ikhwan, religious zealots, believed themselves to be true Muslims, practicers of this particular brand of Islam known as Wahhabi or Salafi Islam, believe that they are truly followers of Tawheed, pure monotheism, and that their fellow Muslims are of a lesser spiritual power than themselves. Abdulaziz and the Ikhwan, a powerful combination. But even Abdulaziz could not escape death. In 1953, the prolific monarch succumbed.
Just before his death in 1953, the ailing founder of the kingdom started delegating his power to his sons. His eldest, Prince Saud, who had accompanied him in battles, was designated the next king. His second, Prince Faisal, was to mind foreign affairs.
He prepared for his succession with the help of Prince Saud and Prince Faisal, the eldest. He told them, "Your unity will continue my reign and preserve the family and the unity and prosperity of the country. Avoid differences. Beware if you separate."
When King Abdulaziz died, people were afraid. He was the force, he was the symbol. He was almost the bureaucracy himself. Everything has to come through his desk because it was a nation it's a startup, like a corporation today. You find the entrepreneur who starts a corporation, they've got their hands on things.
King Abdulaziz was a power, and he was strong, and he brought strength to the Room, and you could see what he did, bringing the country together. Saud, on the other hand, people that dealt with him never considered him right.
I don't recall anything substantive that Saud ever said on whatever the issues might be. Very pleasant, very nice, but inconsequential.
He loved the desert in the sense that he had these huge tents with every amenity possible. I mean, air conditioning and all the latest food from Paris and States and everything else. He loved the trappings of being king. The palaces and the adulation of the crowds, the foreign dignitaries would come and talk to him, and all of his retainers, of course, acting with due respect. And he loved being king. The only thing is he wasn't king in any substantive way.
He was soft. And if you're going to be a ruler in Arabia, you've got to be tough. You've got to be like a hawk. You've got to be like a falcon. That's what gets respect. And at the end of the day, Saud's generosity went so far, but he wasn't tough enough.
The king also enjoyed American hospitality. He became a regular visitor to Saudi Arabia's oil eastern province, where the Americans lived very differently than the Saudis. King Saud was much criticized for his handling of finances, but little was known about his other weakness, a safely guarded secret, which contributed to his downfall.
We had a vice president for Aramco whose name was Floyd Oliger, and he was with the king one time, and the king was tired, he was sick, and so Oliger said to him, "Your Majesty, why don't you go out into the desert, do a little hunting and relax, and we have a wonderful guest house." So he thought that was a good idea. When the king landed, one of the things they were unloading from the plane was liqueur and hard whiskey. Well, we took a look at this, and where did they put the stuff? They put the stuff under the king's bed in the guest house. So of course, we were kind of shocked. And during the stay, we could see that they would drink this stuff straight. But it was kept very quiet.
King Saud's drinking was kept quiet in part because the king was an important asset for the Americans. Since Gamal Abdel Nasser's overthrow of the king of Egypt in 1952, the balance of power in the region had changed. Nasser aligned himself with the Soviet Union and proclaimed himself a socialist and pan-Arabist. For both Saudi Arabia and America, this was a threat.
The Cold War was at its peak, where you had two mighty empires battling out across the whole planet, destroying nations in their path. And you had the end of colonialism and these newly liberated countries coming out full of vitality, full of energy, and wanting to prove themselves. And the theme was out with the old, in with the new. Who cares whether the old was good or bad? It doesn't matter. We want to change. Khalas, we want to change and get everything new. So in this kind of environment, we are who are quintessentially old. You know what I mean? We were the odd ones out. We were going against the trend.
We did not want to be part of that new thinking in terms of socialism, communism. We've already had our ism. We've already had Islam. We were happy, and we united around Islam. And anything that would have come to Saudi Arabia would have unraveled the country.
Nasser wanted Saudi oil under control, saying it belonged to all Arab peoples. The Americans moved to shore up support for King Saud.
Saudi Arabia is absolutely a linchpin, a key to our relationship in the whole area. So oil is at the very center of that, and Russian power coming down there and having control of those oil fields would have been a major, major blow to us.
The Eisenhower administration had the idea that perhaps King Saud could be built up in a political fashion that might make him a contender with Nasser in terms of leadership in the Arab world.